Well, they didn't grow their YouTube channel by only posting on YouTube.
Exactly.
And they created a bunch of content for YouTube for absolutely free without making any money off of it. You know what I'm saying?
For
So
hours. Yeah, come on,
exactly.
bruh.
No matter what the threshold was, there's a threshold that each one of them had to hit before they started getting any kind of monetization off of YouTube. You don't get monetization off your first video you post with one view on it. Always has been, always will be, and you got to do the work to reach that. And so that's what I see as the biggest contradiction, especially from Curtis, because I didn't hear Rashad say it, but from Curtis, he said, he parroted. They both, fuck it. They both were parroting it, right? They both said, you're on social media. You're not getting paid if you only have 300 or 500 people. Yeah, no shit, dumbass. You didn't get paid either when you had 300 or 500 followers. You didn't get paid either.
Right.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to the Music Making Sense podcast. It's your boy Harkos. With me, as always, is the one, the only KP. How the fuck you doing today, KP?
Hey, man, just getting fired up for today's show. I think we're gonna have a really good topic today. So I'm a little charged up for this one, man.
Yeah, it should be a good one. For those of y'all don't know, me and KP kind of do a little bit of a pregame, but nothing too much because we want to try to keep our input on things more organic. Just to make it more organic, and eventually we'll probably end up working to where we just have like a little 1 or 2 minute, hey, how's it going, or whatever, any backdoor business we need to talk, not backdoor business, any backroom business that we need to talk about. That could go the wrong way, but back office business that we need to talk about, and then we just like go into the show, and then we get it going to keep it raw and real for you. But yeah, today we're at least going to start off with a pretty interesting topic. KP's got a couple of videos here that we might go through, but at least one of them we're going to go through, and just to set the stage for it. So we're just only going to air a couple of the clips out of this other individual's content, just so we're not trying to poach on their content, plus all the regulations and stuff like that. But what we're going to do is we're going to watch some stuff like we have in previous episodes, and then we're just going to cut it down and we're going to go over it. The link will be in the description of this video, where you can find the full length video for whoever we're talking about on any day, whoever's video we play on any day. That way you can go like, share, follow, subscribe to them as well too, show love to them for putting out good content. But then you can also listen to the full thing in full and kind of get more of a glimpse on exactly why we're saying certain things, what we're talking about, and everything like that. But yeah, go ahead and pull up the thing, KP, and then we're gonna go ahead and talk about one of these videos. The one that kind of caught my headline, or the headline that caught my eye on this guy. Go ahead. Yes, go ahead.
Shout out to Rashad Bilal.
Yeah, well, this one, it's Curtis King TV's and YouTube channel, and there's this one. Where was it? It was the one about the record deal. Yeah. So Rashad Bilal says Instagram is worse.
Shout out to Earn Your Leisure too, by the way. That's who. If you guys don't know who Rashad Bilal is, he's part of Earn Your Leisure. It needs to, and I forgot the other brother's name, but these two brothers. Curtis is going to mention them. Shout out to Curtis King TV too, but he mentions them. And he talks about that they're very brilliant brothers who talks about financial literacy and they touch base on a lot of this stuff. So just want to touch on that right quick.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So the channel we're actually viewing this content on is on Curtis King TV, but he references Rashad Bilal, a little clip or whatever, and he goes into talking about it. So we're gonna go ahead and play it right now. We only watched like the first minute, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be interesting because my juices are already flowing. Let's go ahead and get it going. So again, like I said, the catchphrase on the title is Instagram is worse than a record deal. Now, that's the triggering headline right there. So that's why
as soon as you saw that, as soon as Hark saw that, he was like, "Oh shit, that's triggering!" Right? He was like, "That's
interesting."
Yeah, very interesting. And the thing about that's one thing I do want to say. Like, I know for people who think with social media, like they're like, oh, it's clickbait. But at the same time, I want you to think about it from a perspective of marketing, right? You're looking at a title that's eye-catching. And for us as podcasters, you know, we're looking at it like, oh my God, that is something that because of the title, it's like, all right, we need to tap into the subject because it could be worth talking about.
Yeah.
So when you do listen to it, right? Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but when you do listen to it, right, you're gonna be. But when you read that title, it's gonna give you that and give you more of an intrigue to listen to it. So that's why that, you know, being able to, when I saw that, that was something that I just saw right quick, and I said, okay, another form of crowd psychology, but in this form. But in this, it's in the form of text, done in the form of a title and written. But it still captured our attention.
Exactly. And that's part of the trick with marketing, right? They call it clickbait because, you know, they're out there fishing and want to hook you to consume your content, right? I mean, it's like a good metaphor. But see, the negative aspect of clickbait is hypothetically, he titles this Instagram is worse than a record deal, and then he goes in there, you're watching the video, and it doesn't give any details about the headline at all, right? You know, it is just completely off topic. It may even be, you know, completely irrelevant to what the title says. However, for instance, like on one of our previous episodes, I titled it SEO is utterly useless. Right, because
great title, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. That is that because it is mentally triggering, and anybody who is on the SEO train, whether they're learning about SEO or they may think they have a good handle on SEO, when they see a title that says SEO is utterly useless, they're like, what? No, and they'll click on it because they're either angry or they're trying to learn about SEO, and then they see somebody saying it's useless. They're like, well, let me see what this person says, because they're saying it's useless. I keep hearing all these other people say it's beneficial. You know what I'm saying? So
you
it
put
works.
Him in the red with that one, bro.
Exactly. Yeah, I did. I got a couple.
You put him in the red.
I got a couple of them, right? But we went into the reason why. So whenever you have a good headline that is catchy, that is triggering, but it is on topic, that's the key to marketing right there, you know? And that's one thing. If you study any marketers, if you study me and KP, or if you study any other like big names who've been in it for decades, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They always do stuff like that, you know? Like one thing, for instance, with Gary Vee, people always reference Gary Vee on how he says like the very extreme things, like just hustle. It's like, okay, Gary,
or he
but
pushes
like
it with
how
his
to
cursing
hustle.
and people who get, you know, your mom, your soccer moms and your Karens of the world, they'd be like, why do you have to use such strong language? And he's like, well, I fucking have to, because, you know, sometimes people just don't fucking get it, you know? I actually love when he does that too. That's cool.
There's that. Plus that's how he talks though at the same time.
Oh yeah.
But like, you know, or when he said like, you know, people don't need to go to college anymore or whatever, like blanket statements like that, you know, when people hear that, some people it strikes nerves, and some people only see or hear that and they turn off because it strikes so much nerves they don't even want to see it. They're like, oh,
how dare you, I will never listen to this garbage.
It's nice to say because he's a millionaire. It's not, is, you know, good for him to say, but he's a millionaire. It's like,
he has a team already behind him. That's why he can do the social media stuff
like that. Right. So yeah, you're always going to have those kind of people whenever you put out headlines like that.
Yeah.
You know, like for instance, you know, somebody who is big on Instagram, they're an Instagram influencer, they have a good following on Instagram, and they make money off of Instagram. They may see the headline right here from Curtis King TV that says Instagram is worse than a record deal, and they're like, no, I'm doing great on Instagram. Record deals are garbage, they're slave contracts, whatever the fuck the perspective is.
Right.
You know, so that's all with titles, you know what I'm saying? So when we were going through, I saw that one, I saw it as a title, it triggered me mentally, but then I also started thinking about it. I'm like, okay, if this guy is talking about marketing style shit and he headlined it with this because if somebody else said it, I want to see why that person said that, whenever you're putting out a title like that for people like me and people like yourselves probably too, because I'm probably going to title this something that triggered you in order to click on it to listen. But I might even use the same title. Fuck, I don't know. Let's see what happens whenever I'm listening, right? Right. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But it gets you curious to see, okay, why does this person say this? And I've never listened to Curtis King TV or Rashad Bilal. Right.
I've listened to both of them pretty frequently.
KP has, right? And so he's introducing me and us as well too to all of these people for the very first time. And so that's something you need to think about when you're thinking about your own marketing, especially if you're doing a lot yourself. You haven't hired any great marketers like myself or KP to help you do it. You're just doing 100% on your own, which is fine. It's whatever. But it's better if you hire us. But if you're doing it yourself, sorry, I get on my fucking on my
he gets on his soapbox, y'all. Don't
yeah,
you?
but anyway, you just need to think about these kind of things. It's like, okay, what is going to get somebody to pay attention? Just like when you're creating a song, what gets somebody to pay attention? Usually it's the hook, because the hook hooks you. That's why they call it a hook. Technically it's called a chorus, but a lot of times in slang they call it a hook because it gets you. That's the part that because that's the part that has the repetition, and that's the part that keeps going, and that's the biggest part. That's the crescendo of the track. You know what I'm saying? Unless of course you have a guitar solo, then that's the crescendo.
Or something like a really cool bridge that people can just repeat because it just captures. Yeah.
Exactly. Like Freebird, right? The song Freebird by Leonard Skinner. It starts out one way, and then all of a sudden they just go off the fucking rails for like 20 minutes. It's fucking nothing but instrumentals, right? Yeah, like stuff like that.
Michael Jackson's I'll stay wanna be starting something when he does it. I'm gonna say it one more time and not gonna stop. I'm gonna say it one more time and not gonna stop. But it's like you hearing it, you're like, because you got the wanna be starting something, got to be starting something, got that part, but then it's just the way he just goes into. It's just when he goes into that part that he's singing, everybody just starts singing, right? We all sang it wrong, but we
it's that hypnotic rhythm, it's that hypnotic rhythm. That's what catches you. And so when you're doing the same thing with your marketing, especially when it's text to get somebody to click to listen or view, you gotta try to think of it kind of like that too. You want it to be 100% on topic, but you want it to be not overly outlandish, but outlandish enough to intrigue people. And so that's why whenever I saw this, I was like, okay. And then we watched like the first minute and I was like, all right, stop. Let's get into it. So we're going to go ahead and play it from the beginning right here. Again, for a lot of different reasons. I'm only going to show a couple of clips. Description has the full link so you can go check it out yourself. But we're going to play the full video. We're going to come back. We're going to talk about it. And then after the episode, you guys can go and watch the full length video from Curtis King TV on your own. All right. So go ahead, KP.
Word.
Rashad says being on social media is worse than signing a bad record deal.
I always look at the music industry as these artists, they signed their rights away, they gave away their masters, or these different executives, they took advantage of these artists. And I would never do that if I was in a position. I would always control my master. You signed your masters away for free. If you're on social media, you agreed to let them use your content, repurpose your content however they feel free. You agreed to promote their platform. You're actually making content for them, which they're selling ads against, and you're not getting paid anything.
But I think that sometimes we forget when we're on social media, the currency is not just attention. The currency is time. Your time equals Instagram's money. Your time on YouTube equals YouTube's money. That's why they call it watch time. They're clocking it. But I think that it's important that at some point in time, you look up and you take some kind of acknowledgement for the amount of time going out and the amount of money coming in. And if those two don't justify each other, you have to ask, am I in the right space?
Yeah, so that right there was a pretty interesting video. And again, like I said, we only showed a couple of clips. Go check out Curtis King's channel for the thing, link in the description below. But that was really, really interesting because I get where he's coming from. And so I get where Rashad's coming from, and I get where Curtis is coming from, and Curtis gets where Rashad's coming from, if you get where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
And so I can't, I'm fucking retarded. I'm so retarded. I can't help myself. But anyway, but no, like for real though, because what Rashad is saying is he's saying that when you create on social media, you're not getting paid for it. You're an employee for them,
Right.
and they are making all the money. You're getting nothing but reach. And Curtis was saying, yeah, that's correct. You know, they used to monetize content creators and then they stopped. And some platforms still do. He didn't add that part in. I'm adding that right there. Some platforms still do. Some are starting to back up. Some are reformatting their content model. But even still, I think he touched on this as well too, if I remember right, they don't really pay you that much, right? And
Like
I get what he's
streaming.
right, exactly, just like streaming, right? And I get what he's saying by that, right? Because
Right.
we're creating all this content, whether it's our podcast, whether it's our personal music, whether it's you know, whatever your content you're creating that you know, you listening right here, you the listener.
Yeah.
You're creating the content, you're putting money into, or it just time into it, right? If you're not putting any money, you're still putting in time, and you're putting it out there in order to try to gather a following, and you're not seeing any money off of it, right? But see, I think one thing that Curtis didn't touch, and maybe Rashad touched in the bigger clip of him, which I haven't went into, but in that clip that Curtis referenced, neither one of them in this specific video covered the fact. Okay, so Curtis actually kind of touched on it. He said that Gary V types will tell you just do it because keep hustling. But he said specifically to keep posting on all the social media because you will get the reach.
Get the reach, right? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and Curtis said that he agreed with that, but he still went back to not making the money. So what I would say to that is what I've said before on this show. It's not a 1-for-1 transaction. I think it was episode like 4 or something like that. It's not a 1-for-1. See, that's where people keep getting fucked up is like I said, only from this clip, but what Rashad was saying in this clip could be edited out of context. What he was saying in this clip was, you know, it's worse than the 360 deal because you're working for them and you're not getting paid anything. Yes, you're not getting anything paid directly from Instagram or what have you. And Curtis went into saying how he only does 90% on YouTube and 10% on Instagram and social media and stuff like that because YouTube will actually pay him. But YouTube does not even pay you hardly anything either. See, that's the thing. And the main objection I have with what they're saying is that they're saying that anytime you create content, you should be getting paid off of that. You should get paid well off of that because you're an employee of them, because in theory, at least, because the social media company are running ads against your content and they're making money off your content. And even though you're able to use the platform for free, you know, you're the product. If a product's for free, that means you're the product, right? And that is 100% true. But social media is just a form of media. It's a form of exposure. It's a form of it's like running an ad in a newspaper. Okay.
Or
you want to take it, or television or radio, like whatever old school non-internet based thing you want to think of, right? When you had a company, you had a cleaning company, right? When you ran an ad, you didn't get paid off of every single person that saw that ad.
Nope.
No matter if it was radio, TV, or print, right? You didn't get paid off of that. You paid for exposure. That's what advertising is. That's what marketing is. It's not, you know, hand-to-hand selling dope. It's marketing and advertising, right? It's not sales. So, but what it is you're marketing your cleaning business in radio, print, whatever it is, right? You're marketing it. And then when the people that get reached, only a small fraction of them will actually be interested enough to reach out to you to at least get an estimate and or follow through and close with you, right?
Yeah.
That's what marketing does. That's what advertising is, right? And for those of you who don't know, marketing and advertising are different. They're in the same family, though. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like me and KP, you know, we're both humans, but we're different, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that between marketing and advertising. It's still in the same realm of,
and they go hand in hand. They go hand in hand without one without the other. It's sort of like strategy and tactics. It's like one without the other, they don't work. Yeah,
exactly. And, you know, that's exactly how it is, you know, and you got to put both of them out there because it's in the overall family of get your shit out there and get people back. you know? So even if you do the 90-10, like what Curtis was saying, 90% on YouTube, you are still not going to be able to make money one for one. It's not possible. All of those platforms, even YouTube, right, that pays you once you hit certain thresholds, it pays you per view, right? All these platforms have all of them have certain thresholds where they pay you per view or per what have you, per metric, right? All the platforms have that, but you still don't get paid per every single one until you hit certain threshold. So you have to continue putting that content out on those thresholds, on those platforms, to reach those thresholds with your gain. You know, and Rashad said something. He said, even if you only have 300 or 500 followers, you're still creating the content and not getting paid. Well, for somebody teaching financial literacy, I would personally say only that little clip could be taken out of context, but only that little clip right there, I would say that he's being financially illiterate and speaking financially illiteracy to people, because yes, that is absolutely true. He's 100% correct. If you only have 300 or 500 people following you on a social media, you are not getting paid for it. You are working for that social media company.
And if you think about it, okay, but I'm sorry, go ahead.
It's all good. However, if you don't grow and get beyond 300 or 500 people, you will not make any money at all anywhere. However, if you only have 300 or 500 followers and you have a full subscription program that they can go get on, you got one-on-one consultations, you got all these different things, you got all these different products and services. Like, let's say you had a whole threshold of products and services, right, that people could buy. But if you only have 300 or 500 people on your social media, the likelihood of you even getting one sale per month on any of that shit is almost statistically zero. All right, because you don't have enough people for the objection ratio to equal sales. You don't. You have to have.
I was just thinking about that.
Yeah, because you only end up closing on roughly 1% or less than 1% of all the people that you even touch. And some people you got to touch multiple times. They say like 7 touches sometimes. For those of y'all who don't know, it's not Michael Jackson style touching, right? It's actually...
Oh, leave Michael alone.
Okay, damn, it's not R. Kelly type of touching, okay? It's actual where you're actually reaching out and getting your content in front of these people and giving them an opportunity to kind of... What? He had a song about touching, and I'm not talking about him pissing on people, but he... I killed, for those of y'all only listening only, I killed KP with the R. Kelly switch. But anyway, I feel both of those people are missing the overall point of using social media to your advantage.
But I think of Jeff Bezos. You know what I think of when you think of just what I was touching on? I was thinking of Jeff Bezos, right? Jeff Bezos knew that he was going to have to take a cut.
Right.
He straight up told the investors, we're going to take a loss. We're going to take a cut because I'm looking at what we have. I'm looking at the long term. Right. And when you think about what they're saying, and there's a video I'm going to watch today. Hopefully I'm going to get a chance to watch today. But it was titled, posting on social media is not marketing. I want to watch that video because it caught my eye because of the title again, right? But what I'm thinking is, okay, when you look at social media, and I was also listening to a Kajabi commercial on ad on here on YouTube, and the sister said that she used her social media to promote and get people to follow and to see what she's doing. And then
that's
she
what
used
social
the
media is for.
Yeah, and she used her Kajabi, which is her website. That's what she was able to gather people, right? So I'm thinking on the same lines of, even for me, like if I want to get people to my website, I started using social media because I couldn't use my website directly to get people on there. I had to go on social media. So so go ahead, continue. But social media is needed. They missed the biggest fucking point, in my opinion. They did.
Is that you need social media. Yes, you are not getting paid by them. They are running ads off of your content. They are making money off of what you're putting out there, right? Yes, it looks like a vampiric system. However, with every vampiric system, you can use it to your advantage. You know what I'm saying?
Because you're gonna be you're a vampire too. God damn it! You just joined the club, nigga. So shut the fuck.
To an extent, right?
To an extent,
yeah,
really.
yeah. But it's the whole. I think it's called Occam's Razor, right?
Yeah, Occam's Razor.
Where you use that Promethean fire to help yourself, like fire, right? It can burn you, it can kill you, but it can also cook your food, heat your home, stuff like that, right? Create things. You can use it to forge metal. You can take stone, use fire, and make it into a blade. You know what I'm saying? So just because fire can burn you and kill you doesn't mean, oh, it's fire.
It can also save your life.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's not like you need to be a caveman and be like, oh, fire, and run away scared, right? That's the same thing with social media. Just because they're not paying you as soon as you log on, as soon as you post anything, just because you're not getting a 1-for-1 transaction doesn't mean you don't use it. No, you use it to your advantage, right?
Yeah.
You always use it to your advantage. One thing Curtis pointed out there that you kind of touched on this a second ago, one thing Curtis pointed out at the end of that is he said his biggest problem with social media is that you can't take those people that are your followers anywhere else. And the only way you can engage with them is actually on that platform. So if you have 100,000 followers on Instagram, you can only engage with those 100,000 followers on Instagram because Instagram won't give you the actual emails for them or any other context where you can take them. That's true. Instagram won't do it. But guess what? People don't just fucking hand you money and opportunity, goddamn it. You know what I'm saying? You got to go get that shit. So what you do is you use your 100,000 followers on Instagram. Now, I'm hoping and wishing because we don't have that. I don't got that. And odds are if you're listening, you probably ain't got that either. Yeah. Real is real. But let's say we all have 100,000 followers on Instagram. Yeah. Instagram is not going to be like, oh, congratulations, you hit 100,000 followers. Here's 100,000 emails for every single one for every single one of your followers. They're not going to fucking do that because they don't even fucking use Instagram, the email marketing properly, right? So why would they give it to you to possibly use it correctly? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The only thing I get from Instagram is, hey, come look at what some people have posted, right? Yeah. Yes, that kind of email marketing, but it's really annoying and it's very vague. It doesn't like say, here's the hottest thing from the so-and-so that you posted today, right? Like that's how you would do it. Like if I was Instagram and I had everybody's emails, I would send them one automated email a day. And that automated email would be the hottest piece of content from the most viewed person that they view on Instagram. So for instance, if the most followed person, the person that I go on Instagram and look at content the most is Curtis King TV, for instance, right? Shout out. So hypothetically, if I go to Instagram every day and I watch at least 2 pieces of content from Curtis King, he's the most viewed person that I watch, right? And Instagram, every day they send me an email. Hey, Curtis, however they market it, Curtis King just posted a dope video. It's already got 1 million views. Oh, well, fuck, let me go click that. That's proper email marketing. Instagram don't even do that. So why the fuck would they give you the email? Right? Exactly. They don't know what to do with it either. Right? Yeah. But you can figure out how to use it for yourself. And what I would recommend is you take all your social media followers. You got 100,000 followers on Instagram, right? Now, you're only probably going to get 10% of them to actually take another step with you off of Instagram and give you their email for a free newsletter or something like that on your website, right? But once you have those, then you need to handle those with care, not over email to them, but market to them. Let them know about the new stuff that you're putting out that they can indulge with for free. And then also let them know about some other things you have for sale, right? Don't always be like, sell, give me money. Give them shit, right? I could go in more detail, but I'm gonna keep it short here because where's it at? Games to be sold, not to be told. Snoop Dogg, I got that CD somewhere, right? So games to be sold, not to be told at the same time, but you can go find this information for free in full detail on YouTube, right? Just take your time, right? Use your time. That's your payment, right? Or you can pay me dollars and I can help you. But so like this video overall, I feel it touches on some very key points that as an artist or as somebody doing any kind of marketing, you need to be aware of. No, you are not getting paid 1-for-1 on every single piece of content that you create. Yes,
Right.
there are thresholds before you even get paid. So if you don't hit those thresholds, you don't make any money. So you're in in turn, you're working for free for Instagram, and all the time that you put into your content, to creating and editing and all that shit, you're putting it out there on Instagram. You're putting it out for free, but then you're also creating that content for free for them.
Yeah.
And they're making money off of that. Yes, that is absolutely true. However, social media is just a form of media. And when you're creating that content, you're building your tribe, you're building your following, you're building your fan base, you're building a real connection with them. Because if you're putting out creative pieces of content, engaging pieces of content, and raw, real personal pieces of content,
people are going to engage.
Absolutely. You put that out there, they're going to engage, they're going to like you. And then when you come to them and say, hey, I just started a newsletter. I only email once a week on what I got new coming out. I don't over email you, or once a month, or whatever the situation is. Sign up for my newsletter, right? You put that out there, you're going to start getting some people, right? Or you do some really good marketing where you only put out snippets of some content and say, hey, if you want the full free piece of this content, go over here. And that's the strategy I broke down last episode or the episode before, whenever I was talking about my idea that I have not implemented myself, but is a great idea. I should do it, on posting on all the DSPs your music. Post only half of a track as a snippet, right? And then then after that, you come in and you start talking. You say, hey, if you like this first half of the track, you can come and download it off my website, absolutely free, blah, blah, blah.com or whatever, right? You can do that kind of shit. So like all of these platforms. So Spotify, you only get paid 0.003 cents per stream, right?
Right.
And that's from the jump. That's with one stream. That's how much you get paid, right? But then you got YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or known as X now, right? Tidal, right? Like all these other platforms, right? With the social media platforms, including YouTube, you have to reach a certain threshold before you can even get any money from them off of it, right?
Absolutely.
So no matter how you do it, if you have only a couple of streams, or if you have the minimum level to start monetizing on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, whatever, you still have to create that content. But even still, you're only getting paid a fraction of what they're getting. So yes, that's true.
Right.
But you got to figure out how to make that work for you, because this whole world is set up against you. I don't know if you know this, but as a human, if you don't eat food or drink water, you will die. If you don't take care of yourself, you will get a disease and die. If you cut yourself, like I fucking fucked up my pinky this morning a little bit, nothing crazy, just a little bit. But if it got infected, I could fucking die, right? This world is set up for you to fucking die. Every aspect of it is. Right. And if you go check out Harcoast over on all the socials, I posted a video. By the time this airs, I posted a video where I was on my walk in the morning. I go on a walk every morning. For those of y'all who don't know, every morning I get up and I go for a walk in the woods on the trails with my dogs. First light and everything like that is dope. It's amazing. And I get my brain going, clear my head, and it helps me with my anxiety management and shit like that. Right. But I was thinking about it. I was getting attacked by mosquitoes, and I was sitting there thinking, I'm like, what is the purpose of mosquitoes, right? And then I kind of went down a rabbit hole. No, I'm not a stoner, but I went down a stoner type rabbit hole with why are mosquitoes a thing, right? You know what I'm saying? Why are mosquitoes a thing? Why were they even created? They don't benefit anything, blah, blah, blah. I went into this full thing, but the world is set up against you. It's set up against you in every single possible way. But in order to continue living every single day, you have to do all kinds of things that are necessary in order to keep on surviving, even if it's just something simple as putting food and water into your body, right? Now, even if you did not have to do any work for that, even if you just sat around all day and watched TV and somebody brought you food and water, you still have to put that in there, or you still have to chew it, or you still have to swallow it, right? That's the same thing with social media. That's the same thing with trying to monetize on your content. Fuck worrying about streams as your source of revenue for your music. That is not how you that is not how you market your music. It's a marketing tool. Absolutely. It is a marketing tool. Streaming platforms are a marketing tool, the same way that social media is a marketing tool, the same way that radio and TV and newspaper are marketing tools still, but they're more old hat now. But the same way, they've always been marketing tools. You're never going to get one for one. Even if you get 1,000 streams on your new song, the odds of you getting those same 1,000 people to listen one time each to the next song is very fucking minor as well too, because out of those 1,000 people, you're going to have a decent percentage that don't like it and may never come back again. That's how it is. And that's how it is with your content too. So when you're putting all that content out on Instagram or what have you, yes, you're doing it for free. Yes, they're making money off of you. Yes, technically it's worse than a 360 deal. However, one of the benefits with a 360 deal is you at least get some fucking exposure, right? And that's the same thing with on Instagram. Being on Instagram, stuff like that. The more work you put into it, yes, you're not getting paid off of it, but you're getting the exposure. And if you do it properly, you can monetize off that exposure.
Exactly. By the way, I'm a stoner.
Yeah, he's a stoner. I'm not, but it is what it is, right? So a lot of times, so for those of y'all who don't know, a little bit of back office information. A lot of times whenever you only see my face, he's over there hitting his pipe. Right? It is what it is.
So funny. It's just so funny when you said that. And I'm just in my head. I'm just sitting there like, I'm just sitting up here lighting up and shit.
Yeah, he's lighting up. He was literally lighting up whenever I said I'm not a stoner, but I went down a stoner rabbit hole, and he's taking a hit off his pipe when I said it. I almost killed this motherfucker. And you can tell he's high because he can't stop laughing. But anyway,
that shit was funny as hell, man. I'm sorry. It's just, dude. Hey, that was a kill. That was a moment. Like, it was funny, y'all, because it was like when he saw me earlier today. I mean, it is gloomy here, by the way, guys, in Washington.
Yeah, so, he's in Washington where it's gloomy 30 days, 300 days out of the year.
Yeah, and I mean, and mind you guys, there's been pretty nice days, couple of nice days here, but today's gloomy. And also, I was pretty stoned when he hit me. Yeah, but back to what we're saying. Now, the funny thing is that even though I can be, I'm starting to cramp up a little bit.
Well, don't kill yourself, old man.
I'm fine. Oh, shut up. Oh, God. I'm laughing so damn hard, dude. That shit was funny as hell.
So anyway, while KP puts himself back together, the dude's almost 50, so give him a break, Raul, all right?
Oh.
But anyway, use these things as a tool to help you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they are fire. They are dangerous. They could kill you, right? You know, and even for instance, when you see people who talk about how they've been banned or censored off social media, yes, that's a fucked up part of it, right? You will be censored. You can only say and do certain things. It sucks. That's how it is when you're using somebody else's shit for free, though. You know what I'm saying? If you're living in somebody's house for free, you got rules you got to go off of, right? You can't just be sitting up in there naked in the living room, hitting the bong with two hookers sharing your dick at the same time, right? Because that motherfucker you live with, they got kids. You know what I'm saying? Hypothetically, in this made up situation, right? That's the kind of shit you can't just do whatever you want to do on somebody else's shit that you're doing for free, right? Now, if you're in your own house that you own, you can sit up there naked in the living room hitting a pipe with two hookers on your fucking dick, right? That's the positivity of having your own platform, having your own website. On your website, you can say and do whatever the fuck you want to do because the people that come there want to see 100% you. When you're on social media, the people that run across you on social media, even if it's YouTube, may or may not be looking for you. They just happen to find you through the recommendation engine and the algorithm. You know what I'm saying? So right. When you're creating the content, yeah, you got to go by their rules. Yeah, you don't get paid for it, but not everything is fucking free, Bernie Sanders, okay? You got to actually put in some work for this shit. And that's the same thing. That's one of the things I got off of that video. Yeah, they were putting out some dope information. Yeah, they were making some great points. But I felt like they missed the bar on trying to educate you off of those points. For both of those individuals, those content creators being educators themselves, they didn't really give out any education. They just bitched the whole time. And that's my raw, real take on it, right? Good information, but they were bitching. But here on Music Making Sense podcast, we don't just bitch. All right. If I'm going to bitch, I'm going to try to make it in a positive light, which I think I just did right there. You know, so make sure that you all try to look at things from that perspective as well. So when you see videos like this, which are all over the fucking internet from all different types of people where they're shitting on this or promoting that and everything like that, you need to look at it and say, okay, this is set up against me. This world's set up against me for all different reasons. Maybe it's because of my socioeconomic status that I was born into. Maybe it's the fucking skin I was born into. Maybe it's the country I was born into. Whatever situation it is, maybe it's the body I was born into, the mind I was born into, whatever, family, whatever the situation is, you got to figure out how to win at all costs.
Exactly.
Because any day, any moment, any second, you could fucking die. Of natural causes or some freak accident, it doesn't matter. Something you did, something you didn't do, you can die. This world's set up.
Hold on, dude. I'm starting to cry.
All right, you do your thing. This world's set up against you. KP's dying over here, but
shit.
See, this is, and you know what? This is irony, because not only did I crack him the fuck up while he was hitting the pipe when I said I'm not a stoner, but I went down a stoner rabbit hole. But as I'm sitting here saying you could die any minute, KP might die at any minute. All right. That was kind of a crude joke. I think he really is dying, actually. But you know, that's one of the things, you know, that's what I wanted to say off of that, you know, because I see people all the time always talking about all the stuff stacked against them. And whether it's like this, where they're talking about social media is predatory and they're making all this money off of you, or whether it's the society that you know keeps you down because of certain things that you can't control, or whether it's you not getting a second chance off something you could control, you know what I'm saying? Whatever the situation is, life is life, and you got to win. Every day is a fucking struggle. Every minute is a struggle, but you just got to win by any means necessary. So if you don't already know how to take these social media platforms and use them to your advantage and convert people to your own website or your own platforms to where you can grow and nurture them as a fan and create super fans out of as many as possible, then take the time to do the research on your own and learn and study things from all different kinds of people that are actually giving out knowledge, not just bitching. Okay. I'm not trying to shit on Curtis or Rashad, because I'm sure they give out a ton of information that's very, very helpful. But in this specific video that we referenced and these specific clips that we referenced, they were more bitching than giving out info, right? So in my opinion, right? Opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one. So
Facts.
So that's what I would tell every single one of y'all. And if for whatever reason you can't or don't want to take the time to learn how to do it yourself, find somebody to hire to do it for you. I recommend either myself or KP, but we're a little biased on that, right? It is what it is. So I think KP's alive now. He looks like he's half smiling. So
man, dude,
you good over there, man?
Bro, my dog, it's just crazy, man. You did crack me the hell up, bro. I'm just
literally
my stomach, dude. My stomach is just. Guys, I work out, okay, still. So, and I have a pretty nice. I have a six pack, and there are times where it feels like when I'm like if I'm like I just ate some oatmeal. I had some oatmeal earlier, and I've been drinking water. So my weight is kind of, you know, my weight's been fluctuating and stuff. So
right.
So I get that feeling of like sometimes, and it depends on how long I've eaten. I'll get that hunger pain, and the fact that I work out, my abs tighten up because I'm laughing so goddamn hard. You know, when you laugh,
right,
you actually are contracting your abs, and when you and it does build, and it actually builds a six pack.
Yeah, it can. There's a lot more aspects to it. You can't just laugh all day and get a six pack if you're eating McDonald's.
Right, but exactly. But
right.
But you're right. But you know what I'm saying? Because of that, I was able to really like it tightened up so fucking super tightened up. And I was like, God damn. So
and you're old, so there's that.
Shut up, nigga. I can do it. I tell you what, okay. See him talking all this shit about me being old. I'm gonna tell y'all right now. I got energy, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah.
man, no, seriously, my guy.
No,
I
I
have
get
a
it.
lot of energy.
Right. No, I get it. So for instance, KP's
Oh.
almost 50. He doesn't look like it, even though he's got a decent amount of gray and white in his mohawk. Besides that, he don't look like he's almost 50. Just like me, I look like I'm like maybe 25 and I'm 36, gonna be 37 here in a few months. You know what I'm saying?
Out on that one.
Yeah, he was. I trip people out on that
Damn.
all the time. All the time. And then people say that I look older in pictures than I do in person sometimes too, right? But like, you know, that's kind of like a genetic factor. But at the same time, like he's saying he's almost 50, he got a six-pack. You know, what's the ratio of 50-year-olds you know they got a six-pack? You know what I'm saying? Like besides Joe Rogan, you know, there's a lot of people who got a couple kegs going on, right? It's all about how you use what you got and stuff like that, you know, and that kind of ties back to using social media as well too. So, but did you have any other points that you wanted to put on that? Because you were dying whenever I was just kind of going on filling in for you. But do you have any other points? So like, right. But you had watched that in full before you even recommended it to me. So what were your thoughts on it?
Well, just, I mean, you know, it's like when I was sitting there watching it, I was just kind of like, my whole thing was watching it with just the idea of, okay, this is gonna, what topic we were gonna look at, or what topic we were gonna discuss. So that was mainly where my mind was in that state. So, but as we started talking about it, and as I brought up about Jeff Bezos and how he looked at the long term, I'm also thinking about when you have a job, or when you guys apply for a job, right? You don't get paid unless you're working for Labor Ready or Labor Works, where they pay you the same day. But here's the thing: you got to do that work. You got to do the work that day in order to get paid.
Right, and you don't always get paid that day.
And you don't always get paid that day.
And you don't get paid for the interview. You don't get paid for filling out the application.
Yeah,
you don't get paid for taking the drug test.
Exactly. Yeah. So my point is, so it's like, so if you're going to trip about social media and say that and again, I'm with you on this one too, Rashad and Curtis, and shout out to both of them. Because I think those guys are brilliant, man. Although, I mean, and I can't think of the other brother's name. Troy. I think it's Troy.
Right.
Yeah, it is Troy. So, but shout out to them. But I'm not feeling that. I mean, I'm about the brothers in business and being like, you know, and but I can't swing with that one either, because it's like I wouldn't be able, like I was talking about earlier about my website. You wouldn't be able to get people onto the website. And I thought about this even when we talked a couple weeks back about when I was talking about my album and how people weren't listening to it. I also have to fault myself after I got the 4,000 streams.
Right.
Okay. Because I was like, look, I really put in the work of when the album came out, I did put in the work of promoting it.
Right.
I didn't put a lot of money into it. Right. But the fact is that I put the time into social media to get people to purchase songs, to give, you know what I'm saying, to buy, to do things, to give me, to monetize on it.
Right.
So thinking about that, I'm like, dude, if it wasn't for social media, I wouldn't have been able to do that. Even when I brought up about the point of Black rock and being able to see all these Black artists in rock and punk and metal and alternative music, if it wasn't for social media, I would not have the chance and the opportunity to be able to support them and to showcase them on these platforms and being able to have these platforms to put this stuff out there.
Yeah, and it's a supreme tool for a creative outlet too.
Right.
Like it's the ultimate tool for a creative outlet, because before the internet, like it was such a hurdle to create.
Oh my God. Tell me.
Like, especially video content, right? Before the smartphone, before social media, like, you know, you had to use an actual camcorder, an actual camera, and record some shit. And then you had to put it onto your fucking computer and then you had to use very expensive software. You had like there's a lot of hurdles. Yes, you still have to do a lot of those same hurdles now where you record it on your phone or whatever and then put it on your computer, blah, blah, blah. But the editing
access is way easier, dude.
Way easier, way cheaper and stuff like that as well, too. And then but even still, like social media is the distribution network. So like before, you could, if you had the time, you had the money, you had the resources, everything like that to create a music video for your newest song and to create an album, right? You create an album and you create a music video for your newest song or whatever. You're like, all right, cool, let's go put it out. Well, you only have your local radio station or a bunch of other radio stations that you would have to either physically travel to until email came along. Then you could just email them and maybe they'll get it, maybe they won't, type of thing, right? And then to get the video to be able to be played, you had to actually get on MTV, BET, VH1, whatever your situation is. You had to actually get on a national television. You couldn't get played on local channel 6 for your music video. You know what I'm saying? Even if you knew the station manager, like they loved you, they loved your music, everything like that, they still couldn't play you on that. So like your only option was to be in person, hand to hand, trying to entertain 10 people at a bar and hopefully get as many of them as possible to give you $1 or to buy your shit. Right now, you don't have to do that. You still can, but you don't have to, because social media has made it so much easier for you to reach massively more amounts of people. Yes, it does make it it's not easy.
It's an open market. It's definitely an open market. So
it's a complete open market. And so like sometimes whenever I tell people, hey man, social media, you can reach so many more people, they're like, yeah, but you have so many more people that are marketing to all those people, so they don't pay attention to everything. It's like, no, that's why you got to catch their attention. You know what I'm saying? Like I was talking to somebody about email marketing the other way. They're like, oh man, nobody reads their emails anymore. Fuck, I don't read my emails anymore. I'm like, so you don't read any of them, not even ones that come across that have a headline like your bill's ready or something like that. You don't read any of your fucking emails. Yes, you do. Don't fucking lie. You just don't know how to use it. You just don't know how to use it. You think that since, it's email, that's old now, I need to get on the new thing that hasn't even happened yet. I need to get in good with AI, which is not even really fucking AI. It's just a fucking software program. That's all it is. It's not actually intelligent.
It's not intelligent. It just aids you in certain things where it's like, if you're coming up with ideas, like if you try to write a letter to a brand, right? It gives you the idea, and what people gotta understand is like it's made by a human.
Yeah. Exactly. And the content that they are referencing to give you that information was also made by humans. So it's not artificial intelligence, it's organic intelligence curated by a software program. That's what it is. It's not artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence would be me pressing a button on my phone and my artificial intelligent assistant comes on and says, hey Harkos, how can I help you out today? I'll be like, hey, so I need you to book me to map me a route on my GPS, please. I need to go to my kid's house and pick them up. I need to go drop one of them off at work, drop the other one off at my house, and then I need to get back, and then I need to go to work. All right, so what time do I need to leave in order to get to work by this time and to drop them off by these times? Go. And then the artificial intelligence says, okay, so in order for you have to do blah, 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 and then it answers your questions. That's artificial intelligence. Because artificial intelligence is supposed to mimic and replicate human intelligence, right? So if I were to ask KP that same question, hey, KP, I got this fucking thing I need to do by this time, how would I get there? He would actually go do the physical work of looking it up on Google and looking at traffic patterns and analyzing the speed limits and how long it would take to get from one place to another and everything. And then he would come back to me and be like, all right, you need to leave your house by 9:30, pick up your kids at 10:30, drop the one off here, blah, 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 and then you're at work at 11, right? That's what artificial intelligence would do. This fucking chatbot shit is literally that, a bot, a robot, which is a software program, right? It's not artificial intelligence.
That's why you see that when you read the emails, it goes beep, bleep, bloop, bleep, bloop.
Exactly. All of that, right? And so, but that's branding. That's branding. That's great branding, because you got everybody just saying AI because it's easy to say. Right? AI. Oh, let's use AI and stuff like that. AI. It's not AI. yes, that's me being a nitpicking asshole, but
that's also understanding
it is
how
what
this
it
market
is.
works, how things work.
But see, but you need to understand how the market works. Yeah. I'm not saying you can't use it to your benefit, because you can, right? It helps maximize Google usage, basically. Right. So instead of you going out and doing a lot of Google research to try to find what you're looking for, but you don't really know how to say it, you can go to ChatGPT and say, what are some ideas on how to market my new music video? And it'll give you 10, and then you can type back, give me 10en more, please. And it'll give you 10 more, and you keep going, right? Mm-hmm. Some of them suck ass, some of them are not. But but it's taking information that other humans have created on the internet and giving you what it feels based on a lot of different parameters is the best information for your question, for your query, right? Mm-hmm. And that is what it is. So yes, I kind of got off topic, but yes, use that kind of stuff to your advantage as well too, because every tool that you have in the survival game is another tool, right? And just because you learn one thing off of one person doesn't mean that's the end all be all.
Right.
You know, like I think we said it like at the first episode or a couple episodes.
Yeah, how many music marketers have we actually watched before we became one ourselves? Yeah,
exactly.
Totally.
Yeah, and to get all the information that we have and stuff like that, we all different kinds of people. I mean, fuck, right there in this episode, in that video, we referenced 2 other marketers taking their information, and then we use it in our head with our other information we got from other people and from our own deep thought and from our own experimentation and research, and put it out there. You know,
and the fact that we didn't. I mean, now here's the cool thing is that like this is your first time actually seeing them, and it was like, and being able to introduce them to you was really cool. You know what I'm saying? But also the fact that I just not, and here's the cool thing, we both disagree. Now you have to watch more content of them, because I'm quite sure there would be things that you would totally that you would agree with on them as well.
Probably.
And then but at the same time, I know that there's quite a few content that they do have that I agree with, but this one, this was a strong disagreement.
Yeah, and
so
that's how it's gonna be.
That's how it's gonna be, and that's what I was gonna say. Like, you know, just understanding that, like, guys, when you're looking at your art, like looking at your music, looking at yourself as a brand, you have to be. Don't be hard on yourself, but hey. Be critical of what you're doing. Be critical of yourself and how you're approaching things and how you may look at things. Like maybe you're looking at social media in the wrong way, right? Like let's say like for Rashad and I mean Curtis, shout out to Curtis. Curtis makes great content, right? And so does Rashad and Troy. But the thing is, they would not have the reach that they have if it wasn't for social media. I would not have known about Earn Your Leisure. I wouldn't have known about Curtis King TV. I wouldn't have known about the career these guys had, the paths that they've had to walk if they weren't on social media. So again, you guys, when you're discrediting something, at the same time, like he said, pointing. I've never, when I point my finger, I always keep my finger there. I mean, I'm just saying, but right. But I can understand the other 3 maybe pointing back at you because you're kind of going like that. Or maybe you point in and they're pointing at the knuckle, but it's still you, right? But, and my aunt used to say that. She would say the other 3 are pointing back at you, which I understood that one a lot more.
Right.
But anyway, again, that is what's happening. It's like, social media, people are always saying how we're consumers of it, we're this, that, and the other. But I feel like this, when it comes to the consumption of it, for me, if I didn't consume it, I wouldn't be able to have things to talk about. I wouldn't be able to sit down and write about content that I want to make in the future. Right? Like, or being able to talk about it here on our platform, here on the pod, on the Music Making Sense podcast, right? Wouldn't be able to talk about it. So again, guys, this thing about social media and how people attack, it's like, dude, you're attacking an entity that's made by humans. It's not social media. Social media didn't make itself. It's made by us, and you guys are a part of that. You're a part of that engine. So
yeah, it's an organism.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like being in the world.
Yeah.
You know, you didn't create the world. It's got a lot of positive and negatives, just like social media is, but you use it, right? You don't get paid every time that you use trees. You don't get paid every time that you use anything like that, right? You have to actually use everything to your benefit. And just to kind of wrap this up, you know, no matter what's in your path, I said this a little bit ago, no matter what it is, you're always going to have to figure out a way to use something to your advantage. And like KP just said, the ironic thing is both them motherfuckers did it. Both them motherfuckers, both Rashad and Curtis, have both used social media. They even Curtis even said it right there in the video.
Yeah.
They both use social media in order to get their reach. I know damn well that they would understand the benefit of using social media to gain reach in a form of marketing and advertising.
Right.
Yes. And I think that they should have, maybe Rashad dove in more to this after that clip, and Curtis missed out on it, or Curtis didn't want to cover it himself for whatever reason. But if they were to continue on saying, yes, you don't get paid from Instagram for it, but here's 3 ways that you can use to benefit off of it. You know what I'm saying? Yes, social media doesn't pay you directly, but here's 3 ways to make money off of social media. Like stuff like that, man. Like
they have merch on their YouTube channels. Like,
right.
Come
exactly.
on, dude.
Yeah. And the only reason that they got that is because they were able to grow their YouTube channel. Well, they didn't grow their YouTube channel by only posting on YouTube.
Exactly.
And they created a bunch of content for YouTube for absolutely free without making any money off of it. You know what I'm saying?
So hours of live streams and all that, dude. Yeah, come on, bro.
Because like, no matter what the threshold was, there's a threshold that each one of them had to hit before they started getting any kind of monetization off of YouTube. You don't get monetization off your first video you post with 1 view on it. You don't get that. You have to reach so many different thresholds with view counts, watch time, followers, or subscribers, or what have you, whichever platform it is. You have all these different metrics to reach, and you've always had those metrics to reach. Even when YouTube first started, when they first started giving people money for their content, there was still thresholds for that, right?
Yeah.
Always has been, always will be, and you got to do the work to reach that. And so that's what I see as the biggest contradiction, especially from Curtis, because I didn't hear Rashad say it, but from Curtis, he said, you know, he parroted. They both, they both were parroting it, right? They both said, you're on social media, you're not getting paid if you only have 300 or 500 people. Yeah, no shit, dumbass. You didn't get paid either when you had 300 or 500 followers. You didn't get paid either.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You didn't get paid either when you had 300 or 500 followers. All right.
You don't get paid. That's what I was talking about earlier with the job. Like, you don't get paid. Most people, if their job, they don't get paid the first 2-3 weeks.
Sometimes, right? But like, you know, like yeah, but like, you always have to put in work without getting.
I'm saying when they get hired.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
When they first get hired. That first initial hiring.
Right, but even still, they don't get paid to fill out the resume or application. They don't get paid for the drug test. Sometimes they do, but most of the time they don't get paid for the drug test. They don't get paid for the interview or the phone call or whatever multiple different steps they have to do before they even get hired. Yes, every hour you work once you're hired, you do get paid for, and it comes after a check and stuff like that. So technically, yes, you are getting paid every hour that you work, but all the stuff you do before you get hired, you don't get paid for. And that's the same way with all these social media companies. All the work you have to put into before they hire you and decide, yes, we want to pay you because you do a good fucking job on our platform, keeping people engaged, keeping people on our platform, entertaining people. Yes, we will start paying you now because you've built a resume, you've built everything.
But you don't pay for, and y'all can, when you go fill out an application and get hired for a job, you get paid. You're getting paid, but it's like you're being documented for you're not actually getting the money first and then do the work. That's what I'm saying. And that's what it seems like a lot of people, and they're not the first to actually go about it like this when it comes to social media. I think that they tapped into, especially Rashad, tapping into the majority of artists. I would say when we're speaking of artists, tapping into the majority of artists, especially who look at social media as such. And when they talk, and when he said that you think that it's worse than we're complaining about Diddy. Yeah, reason why we're complaining about Diddy is because of the way we saw how he treated the artists on Making the Band and all these other, and just the whole history behind that. We saw that. We're seeing this right before our very own eyes. So that's a totally different thing. Yeah, we're complaining about Diddy because look how many artists has died under this man. Right. So it's like a different. So I think my point is that there's a different I think there's a different level that you're speaking on when it comes to the business, when it comes to this aspect of the business. It's like, dude, you're looking at Diddy as if we have every goddamn right to complain about this man. Look, I mean, sorry, but I mean, when we're looking at it from an independent artist, no, we're not looking at social media to get paid right away. I don't think any of us came into the idea when we went on Facebook, it was to see friends.
Yeah, but a lot of people, they know that you can make money off of social media. Right. And so they think, okay, well, let me start posting. I won't get immediate returns. That's not how it works. It's the same way you can make a lot of money in the stock market, but you don't get immediate returns all the time. Exactly. Sometimes you lose. Right. And but the comparison that he's making between Diddy or a 360 deal and social media is apples to oranges. You're talking about an actual business contract with a 360 deal versus a marketing platform. Yeah. A marketing platform. Right. And so it's about how you use it. In one aspect, yeah, you're getting used by both, but you can also use both to your benefit. Mm-hmm. You know, there's been plenty of artists that have signed a 360 deal that have came out of it and done better. And there's been plenty of people who have used social media and for years putting all their time, money, and effort into it. And then they finally end up making money off of it. And that is what it is, you know. And like I said before, I'm not doubting at all that both these gentlemen don't put out good content that's actually beneficial and stuff like that. But it's not that these guys put out this content and they're contradictory by saying, you know, you don't get paid for social media. Yeah, motherfucker, you didn't either. But that's not the biggest problem I have. The biggest problem I have is that sentiment that keeps going around and that more and more people keep placating into it and amplifying it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's like they're just up. It's like they're just perpetuating the voices and the voices in the minds of those heads, the artists, especially with artists. They're in their mind. They're like, yeah, why am I gonna post them? See, that's what I said. That's what happened, and especially with metal. Yes, that entitlement. Yeah, that's why they're fucking unemployed, dude. They're just posting on TikTok all day, like that mindset. Yeah, and it's just all it's doing is just feeding into it, and I just don't think that's a good thing to do.
No, absolutely not. And so that's why we came here today and gave you more value. We took this negative connotation. We took a real reality.
And we feel real,
It was a real reality. It's a real negative part of reality. But we both have given you different perspectives and different ideas as to how you can at least start trying to make that harsh reality into a positive one.
Yeah.
You know? And so when you go out and consume these pieces of content, I recommend that you try to look at it in that way. Try not to fall into the negatives. Oh yeah, fuck them. They're against me. Fuck, you know, they're trying to fuck me over, everything like that. Look at it and be like, okay, that's an obstacle I got to get either around, over, under, or through. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I always tell people is like every obstacle I have in my life, I figure out a way to either go around it. Like if it's a wall in my path, well, I got to figure out how to either go around it, over it, under it, or fucking through it. Right. Yeah. one of the ways. I'm getting past that motherfucker. So that's what you all have to do when you see these obstacles, when you're out on YouTube watching these other not so great marketing experts compared to me and KP. But when you're out there watching some of them and they're giving you some information that's not as good as the information we can give you, just make sure that you think about it and you go, okay, I get what they're pointing at. Let me try to spin this in a positive way. How can I overcome from this?
And it kind of upsets me because Curtis, you're an artist, so it's like, you know, you make great content, and it just kind of upsets me. Like, I mean, I know you were I know, and he feels like, okay, he wasn't thinking about it like that, and when he heard it, he was like, damn. But I mean, I'm just sitting there like, and Rashad, you're not an artist, you just love music, so it's like, to me, it's like, yeah, dude, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
and I'm sure if they were on here with us and we said that, they might agree with some of the stuff that we just said and how we broke it down, and then they might elaborate more and they might give you some great information. So
yeah.
if any of y'all know them personally, give them this fucking episode and we can talk it out. You know, either on camera or off camera. It's no big deal.
I think we should go ahead and tag them.
Yeah, we'll go ahead.
Yeah, just
Fuck
tag
it,
them.
whatever.
Yeah, that'd be I think a good idea.
Yeah, but anyway, so we're just gonna kind of wrap it there because we keep going around in circles and we're kind of getting towards the end here. But that's the overall message, y'all. It's just, no matter what, always win.
Yep.
Always find a way. So
yep. And social media is not, and honestly, again, just let's wrap it up. Social media is not worse than a record deal. No. And if you do get a record deal, again, I'm going to say this. You don't get what you deserve. You get what you negotiate. So make damn sure you negotiate what you deserve.
Absolutely. So we are going to get the fuck up out of here. Yeah. And we will see you next time on the show, on the next episode. Make sure, as always, you like, share, follow, subscribe to us on all the streaming and social platforms. Speaking of social platforms, make sure you help us grow ours, because yes, we are not monetized on it right now, but that's not the purpose of it. God damn it. We just went over the real purpose of social media. So make sure you go engage with us over there. Like, share, follow, subscribe. Tell other people about our show, about our clips we post up on the socials, about the other content we post up on the socials. And make sure you keep tuning in. We will be back here next week with another great episode, as always, because we are the greatest music marketing podcast on the whole fucking internet. All right. So getting the fuck up out of here. It's your boy KP here with Harcoast. As always, we will see y'all next time.
Holla, y'all.